Welcome to Training Marks Java Coding Challenges series. In this session, we'll discuss about one more coding challenge, that is printing characters patterns. Okay, let us understand the logic for printing the character patterns. So like in our previous program, one of the programs we have discussed like how to print different character patterns. Example, we have printed star patterns or maybe number patterns using Pascal triangle and as well as the Floyd's triangle. So and sometimes they'll ask you to print the characters. Example, we are going to discuss about one character print in this example, like the alphabet character prints like A, B, C, D, E, F. Exactly, instead of printing 1, 2, 3, 4, we are taking the characters to print, and exactly it depends upon the number of lines, but how the character prints looks like is, so it has to come like this, like A, B, C, D, E in the second line, and third line it is going to be A, B, C, D. In fourth line it is going to be A, B, C. In fifth line it is going to be A, B, and sixth line it is going to be A. It's just printing in a reverse. And the same program should have the mirror image of it. So it should start with E and then say that D, then C, then B, and then A, and should take appropriate spaces, DCBA and DCBA in third line. Fourth line it should be CBA, and fifth line it should be BA, and then sixth line it is going to be A. So this is what the character print program that we are going to discuss in this session now. So it's going to be same, like instead of printing numbers, so we are just taking the character. So definitely now we need to take a variable for number of lines, that is 6 in this case, and then we need to take a character which starts with A and then it has to be incremented till F. So we are now going to print A to F first and then the reverse from F to A within the same iteration, and in between we need to have a spaces. So first thing, how many loops we require is, now first we require an outer for loop which iterates for number of lines, and within this I need one for loop which prints from A to F, and one more for loop which prints spaces in between, and one more for loop which prints from F to A according to my logic. So the only thing is like how many number of characters you are printing. So here one outer for loop for iterating through the number of lines, and 3 inner for loops. One is for printing from A to F, one is to adjust the spaces, second one is to print from F to A. Now let us write the code in Eclipse to understand how it will print, because we are pretty much familiar of printing the numbers and as well as the star patterns. So let us write the code in Eclipse now. So let me create a new Java class. So I'm taking new Java class. So the class name I'm taking it as character pattern. So let me select main method. Now here the character pattern, what you're going to print is, I'm now just going to write within the comments. Now it should look like this: ABCDEF and then E, DCBA, and then in the second line ABCDE, and then mirror image EDCBA, then ABCD, and then spaces DCBA, and then ABC, then CBA, and then AB, and BA, and finally it is going to be A. This is what the character print we need to have. So here I'm taking the number of lines as 6, so you can take that number of lines as an input. So if you want, so based on that you can run the show. And now here I'm just taking a local variable to demonstrate integer number of lines is equals to 6 in our case. Now one thing what we require is, we require 2 characters, that one from A to F should increment and then second one is should decrement. So what we do is, I'll take 2 variables. One is minimum cap which I initialize it to A, or you can take the Unicode number of it or ASCII code of it from 65 to 70 or like that, but you know, to calculate like how many number of characters you're just implementing it. It's purely based on the number of lines. Now so probably we'll take that logic to demonstrate. Now what I'll do is, now I'm taking integer minimum character is equal to, I'll start with 65 because we are printing only the alphabets, and then the max char is going to be 65 plus 6 minus 1. So what we're going to do is 65 plus I'm going to write the formula like min char plus the number of lines and then minus 1, because till that we need to increment. So this is what my max char is going to be. So how I'm going to do now is, first out of a loop I need to iterate for number of lines I less than or equal to the number of lines, then we're going to say I plus plus. So instead of number, let me replace this variable with lines. So because number, always we understand this, we are going to print something number. So here I'll say it as a lines, and then here it is, I'm going to take it as the number of lines. So this is what my outer for loop is now ready. Now first inner for loop for printing from A to F. So how we're going to print it? So we are going to take one integer variable that is I is equal to min char. So I'm now initializing, or I already took, so I'll take the character is equals to, now I'm going to say min char, ch is equals to min char, and then here I'm going to say that ch less than or equals to max char, then ch plus plus, and I'm going to print system.out.print, because we need to print within the same line, and then I'm going to now print ch. So now let me run this program first to see whether I'll get this. So once you run the program, you're going to get output like this, because we just took this as a number in ch, so only numbers are printing from 65 to 70. So what we need to do is, now I need to downcast that to print a character. So let me write this. So let me run it. So because everything will be printed within the same line, now you see ABCDF. So what I need to do is, after this, now I'm going to print within a new line. So I'm going to write println. Let me run now. So now ABCDEF, but what should happen? This max char should be decremented every time, right? So now what is this max char value? Initially it was still F, nothing but the 70. So after this iteration, what I need to do is, I need to decrement my max char minus minus. So let me run it to check. Okay, now we got ABCDE, and then ABCDE, ABCD, ABC, AB, and then A. So this is what the output I got. So now what I need to do is, I need to get a mirror image of it. So to get the mirror image of it, what I need to do is, now I need to print it in a reverse format. Now I'll take for same ch1 is equal to, first I'll initialize this to max char. Then I'm going to say ch1 is greater than or equal to min char. Then I'm going to decrement my ch1, because I need to print it from maximum char to minimum char. So what I do, I'll print it within the same line, so using the print, and I'm going to downcast again my ch1, otherwise it will going to print only the numbers. Now let me run this program now, how it is we are going to get the output. Now if you look at this, now we got ABCDEF, and then F EDCBA, ABCDE, and then EDCBA. Now we need to identify how many number of spaces we need to get now. So if the number of lines is 1 or the first line, so the spaces should be 0. Then in second line it should be 1. In third it could be 1, 2, 3. And in number of lines it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we'll calculate now the spaces. Now space should be 0 when number of lines is 1. Now space should be 1 when the number of lines is 2. Now space should be 3 when the number of lines is 3, and space should be 5 when the number of lines is 4, and then space is going to be 7. So every time it is going to be like this, so we are going to just increment this. So this is what the linear you'll have when it is 0, and then we are not going to print anything, and then from spaces should be 1, and then S should be 3, or S should be 5, or S should be 7, S should be 9. So how are you going to write the logic for this? So first we'll take a variable called int spaces that we initialize it to 0. And then how we are going to write the code for spaces is, to calculate the spaces we use a formula that is 2 into I minus 1. So based on the number of lines, so we are going to calculate 2 into I minus 1 how many values you want based on this requirement. So here what we're going to do is, now we are going to take one more variable for printing the spaces. S is equal to 1, then we'll say s less than or equal to spaces, then s plus plus, then we are going to print spaces. So instead of system.out.println, we are going to print one space here. So this is the logic. Let me run the code. So now here we got the exact mirror image of this particular code. So now if you want to eliminate this F and then you want to continue only with A, and probably what you need to do is, so here you need to check a condition. So if the ch1 is equals to, and then in this case you need to calculate a function and you need to calculate the formula that ch1 value should be 70. When it is going to be 70, simply you are going to continue this. So now if this is, because we're not changing anything, so what we do is minchar plus lines minus 1. This is what is a value. Now just let us continue, so that will become 70. Now it is going to come. So based on that you need to adjust the spaces, like how many spaces you want when you're working on this. So now just we need to know like how many spaces you want here. If you want a 0 space, then you need to calculate the spaces to be 0 in this case. Then how many spaces you want in between, then you need to calculate accordingly. So this formula again changes. So this is the way you need to find out the logic to print the mirror image of the characters.